Welcome back. So alongside this 3D perspective view that we created in the previous lesson, I also want to show you how to very quickly create a site plan for this schematic design. Obviously there's ways to do this in more detail and we can address that later in the course, but for now, I'm sure you appreciate we just want to get something quick that we can show to our clients. So here we are with our site model that we created with our sketch building design loaded into it. And you'll notice that as well as the schematic 3D scene that we created in the previous lesson, we've still got these scenes which we inherited from the existing site model. And if we go to context, you'll notice that this view now includes the roof plan of our proposed design. So the topography scene and the boundary line scene don't really need to change. Apart from, in the topography scene, this grass color finish was only really for the perspective view. I don't want to see that in my drawings. I think it'll be a bit too much. So in this scene, what I'm going to do is change the face style to hidden line just by clicking on this icon here. Alternatively, if I go to view, face style, hidden line. So then I'll just get the contour lines and the lines of the road. There's also a shadow being cast here for some reason. So if I want to make sure that shadows are turned off in this scene. So again, to do that, window, shadows, and then I'm clicking this icon here, which toggles the shadows on and off. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Right click, update. As always, it's important to remember not to move the camera position if you can, just so these things come in exactly the right place. I'll show you in a moment how quick this is. The last thing I want to do here is just to rename this scene from context. Let's call it SD roof plan. So it's always good practice as well to try and keep your scene names quite short. When you end up with quite a few scenes later on in the course, if they're really long, sometimes they can run off the edge of the page or the edge of the screen. So it's always good practice just to kind of keep them as snappy and short as possible. So that's all we really need to do. So if we just save this file. So here we are back in layout with our schematic design drawings. And if I open my existing site plan, you'll see it's still set up from the previous module. So all I need to do is just update these scenes, but there's a really quick way of doing it. If I go to File, Document Setup, first of all, I notice that my SD site model needs updating to reflect those changes that I've just made. So I'll just click on Update. And that's now set to current. But you'll also notice that I've still got my pre-designed site model loaded into this drawing set. And you'll also notice that when I select it, it's highlighted in blue on this page. So I don't need that. I want to have the latest site model. And all I need to do is click on Relink and select the SD site model. Click Open. So now you notice we don't have to reset up all those scenes and scales and stack them all. Layout does that all for us. Here is our drawing the way we had it before, but now we've got our proposed design in there. I just want to quickly move this bit of text away from the shadow of our design so that it's a bit more legible. One last thing is just to rename this page, and let's call that schematic site plan. And really that's all we need to do. This is one of the great things about this process and workflow is that for every stage of the project, you don't have to start from scratch. The drawings simply build upon the work we did in the previous stage. In the next lesson, we'll look at setting up really quick and dirty plans and elevations so that we can get our designs out the door and in front of our clients as quickly as possible. See you there.